Hey guys, so I am in my greenhouse and I was putting my sweet potato experiment to stage 2, and I thought I would just show you guys what I'm working on and we're gonna find out together if this works. So when I harvested my sweet potatoes a few weeks ago, I clipped some of the vines off before I ripped everything out and destroyed the whole plant to obviously get to the roots, which are the potatoes. But anyway, if you don't know, sweet potato vines are prolific growers and will root literally if you sneeze in their direction, okay? This is kind of just to show you, this was maybe a week ago, not even, and you can see the roots that are already starting to grow here. This is the purple variety. You can see the foliage is just stunning. It has this purple tint to it, and obviously the potatoes are purple too. Have not harvested the sweet potatoes yet, the purple ones, but I will do another video on that as well. But just wanted to show you. Here's the regular sweet potato version that I did, and you can see the roots just go crazy, like every little nodule or node, like where the leaf were to come off, sends out a huge root. So they do the same thing as they're growing along the top of your bed. Wherever the vine touches the soil surface and makes soil contact, it will send out a root. This root will turn into a sweet potato. Just a little fun fact about it. So before I ripped everything out, I took backups. I always like plants like this and like tomatoes, any plants that are super easy to propagate, I always take backups just because why not? It's a perfectly cloned copy of that mother plant. I do it when, you know, it starts to get hot in the summer as well, in case my tomatoes die. I have backup versions in the house. It's just a good insurance policy if you have a plant that you love is thriving and that you want to make sure you can continue on. But anyway, I clipped some vines, rooted them, and typically in the winter or fall months when your sweet potato vines grow back, that's the end of your season, right? It's, you get your harvest, you get your sweet potatoes, and you buy new slips in the store or online in the spring. Sweet potatoes like very hot weather, they like humid weather, they like long hot summers, and are like a tropical type of plant. So instead of just throwing these away, I figured why not try to clip some backup plants and see if they can live in my greenhouse. That's where I am right now, in my greenhouse. It's so warm and toasty in here. It's like 45 degrees outside right now, but it's nice and warm in here. So what I'm gonna do, now that these have rooted, I'm going to pot them up into some soil. And I'm gonna probably do a few different experiments here throughout the winter to see if I can get any of them to make it and be plantable next year. Like I said, the first experiment option is going to be to stick them in some soil. What I did was I took a container full of soil, I did it about a third of the way full, moved it aside, gently stuck the rooted slip in there, and kind of, you know, gently put dirt around it. I say gently because those vines, these roots are pretty fragile. Like, they will break off pretty easily. So, and if they do, it's not a big deal. Like I said, it'll root again no matter where it touches. So let me go get a pot of soil and I'll show you how I do this. Alrighty, I've got my little pot here full of soil. I've got it, I don't know, probably a little bit too much there. I've got it maybe halfway full. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull along the edges here just to make a little well so that I can get this root down as far as I can. Again, I don't really want to damage these roots. I want to try to leave them as intact as possible. So made a little hole here to try to minimize the resistance. I think I'm actually going to cut off this little nub here. You can see how there's no roots here, and I want to get this planted as deeply as possible because if you can see here, that's probably honestly about perfect. Not even gonna cut it off actually. I'm just gonna go ahead and, if it was taller and I was gonna have a lot sticking out, I'd probably cut off that little nub so I can get those roots as close to the bottom as possible, but that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and just gently stick it in there, and it kind of just automatically, naturally fills in. And I'm not even gonna push down on this. I'm just gonna backfill it in gently with soil all the way to the tippy top. Super gently, just kind of tamp it down a little bit. Go to the top. And if I am planting something that's like this, that has a rooted propagation type of transplant, I'll typically backfill it in or fill it all the way to the top with soil. And then I'll get a hose and then I'll just soak it really good so that the water naturally gently settles the soil and I'm not pushing and breaking little roots down here. You know, that's the best way I found to do it. Is it, first of all, they need a good soak anyway. It needs a good drink. So I'll just go ahead and soak it down with the shower setting, and it will, all of the air pockets and stuff will settle out. The soil will, settle down a little bit, and it'll be good. One other thing is, you can see this plant is actually sending out flower stalks. I will definitely go ahead and cut off all of these little flower stalks. This is what it looks like. Didn't know if you knew that sweet potatoes vine flowered, but this is what it will look like. Super pretty. And I might just let it flower in my house. That's going to be step 2, or attempt 2, and I'll get to that in 1 second. But the point of what I'm trying to make here is, you want to cut these off. If you're rooting something that you want to focus on the roots and the foliage growth, you don't want the plant to have to be focusing on reproducing itself via flower or sending any energy to these flowers, because they're not going to do the plant any bit of good. So I'm just going to, with super sharp micro scissors, get in here and snip off all of these little flower stalks. You can tell the difference because there's see, like little spiky things. Okay, my phone's gonna die, of course. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. All right, that's my attempt number 1. I'm gonna leave all of these little potted sweet potato plants in the greenhouse this winter, see if I can get them to survive. I might transplant them into a bigger pot like this if I see them, the roots start to come out the bottom and then starting to like really grow and thrive. I might put one, or I might pot them up to this. The second thing I'm going to try is I'm actually going to put some of these in my house as house plants, because like I said, they're stunning. Like, this plant is super pretty, and it's kind of like a pothos, like it vines. So I've never done this before. I'm going to try it. And where did my pot go? Got this little cute little whiskey barrel looking pot. I figured I'd put maybe 3 vines in here and put a little rope hanger on it and hang it from my inside of my house. It's going to be decorative. It's going to be this pretty purple foliage, and it's obviously going to be a warm, well-controlled environment all winter long. I don't care if it's going to probably start to grow sweet potatoes in here, but I'm after the vines. And if at the very least, all of this thing serves as a mother donor plant, and I can just take clippings off of the vines as they grow longer, clip them, root them, and keep this process going all winter long. I'm really hopeful that by the time winter or spring comes, I will have been able to continuously propagate this thing and root it throughout the winter, where I can have quite a few good little seedling slips started in the spring. So if I were to leave it in the water just like this, it's not going to make it. The plant's not going to be happy with just water all winter long. It'll probably survive a good bit, but I don't think it'll survive all winter long just in a mason jar like this. So I'm going to kind of get it to limp along by, like I said, growing a mother plant, getting this in its nice little happy place inside the house, hang it, serves multiple purposes. It's going to be food for me in the spring. It's going to be a decorative plant for me. It's going to oxygenate my environment throughout the winter. And, it's saving waste. Like, these would go in the compost bin and they would be trash, and then I would have to spend more money. So I guess it's also saving me money in the spring because I don't have to repurchase them. So we'll see. Might thrive, might fail. I'll let you know. But I'm just going to do the same process. I picked the 3 nicest, prettiest looking vine starts that I had, and I'm going to put those ones for the inside plant. Obviously, I'm probably going to put 3 of them in here, do the same process, just arrange it with a little bit more care, because this is the one I'm going to have to be looking at. And I think it'll be really pretty once it starts to flow over the edges. I'll update you guys and let you know. Like I said, make sure you follow, subscribe, like, all of that social media mumbo jumbo, and I'll let you know how it does. But I wanted to share all of this stuff, how I'm doing it. You guys can live and learn with me. Maybe it makes it, maybe it doesn't. If it makes it, I think this is going to be a revelation. All right, I'm going to go because my camera's almost dead. Story of my life. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you've tried anything similarly. Whew, that's a tough word. And let me know how it's worked out for you. All right, bye guys.